What is up, y'all? Today we're going to be working on this PS2 Slim. I got it a while back at the flea market for a really good deal with a bunch of games. It actually works and reads games, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit and give it to my son as a birthday gift. He's been talking about playing a favorite childhood game of his called ATV Off-Road Fury 2. So I figured I'll bring back some childhood memories for his birthday. So let's get started on this thing. I'm going to speed this process up so the video doesn't take forever. I'm going to remove these tabs right here, and there should be 6 screws hidden underneath. They're Phillips head screws, so no special tools required. And then after all the screws are out, we'll work on getting the top part of the shell off. It just snaps off, but I forgot to cut the little sticker on the back, and I realized it right there. I'm like, shit, okay, let me get this. Then you just pop that bad boy off. Now we can see what's under the hood of this thing. A little dirty right there. We'll clean that up, no biggie. Don't really see any damage right here, so just a little dusty. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart and clean her up. Take this thingy-mabob off right here, and I'll go ahead and take the screws out for the fan. All these are Phillips head screws, so like I said before, no special tools required. I'm just gonna move the fan aside for right now because I can't get my fingers in there to get it loose. Take that one screw off in the front, then I'm gonna take these 4 screws out for the laser assembly. And once we get all the screws out, you just got to disconnect the ribbon cables. Some of them just pull right out, and a couple of them you got to mess with the little tabs, so just be careful not to break them. Take that one screw out, remove the battery right here. Then we could just take this whole thing out right here. I could finally remove the fan. I could get my fingers in there. I'm always scared I'm going to break it. Clean the dust off this fan real quick and blow it out. Then we're going to remove these old thermal pads right here. This one right here was dried on here pretty bad. So I got my plastic scraper out for this. Gotta be very careful not to damage anything. Then I'm gonna clean her up with some alcohol and a Q-tip. I went ahead and cleaned the whole board. Now I'm gonna cut out some new thermal pads for this thing. I got the pads off Amazon for like $11.99. It comes with different sizes, so usually whatever you need. I have a feeling he's gonna be playing this thing a lot, so we definitely gotta keep this thing running nice and cool. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and start putting some of this stuff back together. I'm basically just going in reverse on everything I did earlier, being careful to put all the screws back in the right spot. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean this laser assembly here. Just clean it off with some alcohol, clean the rails, stuff like that. Just getting all the old crud off of it, you know. I'm gonna hook up the ribbon cables, put all the screws back in there. Then I'm gonna grease this thing down. I'm gonna grease the rails and that little spiral thingy right there. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. You don't want to overdo it. Then I'm going to clean the shell. I'm just using some regular cleaner to wipe this thing down with a paper towel. And then after I got it all back together, I realized that it had a power issue where if you wiggled the cable, the power was shut off and on. And we can't let that happen. So I'm going to show y'all what I did to fix it. I took it back apart and I realized that one of these solder joints was cracked. You can see it right there if you look closely, the one in the center. So that means I'm going to break out my trusty flux, my soldering iron, and fix this thing. I'm not going to remove the old solder. I'm just going to melt it down and add some new solder in there just to seal up those cracks so it holds a good connection. And now I'm done with this. We're going to try this bad boy out. All right, got some power plugged into it. See the red light right there? And now that I wiggle the cable, it actually stays on this time. One more good wiggle. All right, that's good to go. Now we're going to try this thing out, make sure it reads a disc. It's got 2 little tabs, one in the back and one in the front. Just hold those down, and it looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this laser real quick just in case I got something on it while I was messing around. Then we're gonna put this thing to the test, and I'm gonna play me some Stuntman Ignition. I really hope he enjoys this birthday present, and that's all I got. Y'all have a good one now. See ya.